Hey guys, Bayside Dave here. I'm going to show you how I tie snap-off rigs for tog fishing. Okay, got about 12 feet of 50-pound test. Cut it off. We're going to eventually tie this to our braid. Let's tie a quick little surgeon knot in the end here. Doesn't have to be very big because it's just going to be for holding our sinker rig, which I'll tie after I'm done with this setup. Get that nice and tight. Get off the leader. Your surgeon loop on the end, go up a little bit, tie a little drop loop, not a big one. Grab that with my teeth, tighten it up. Just like to pinch the end. Okay, so that's what we got in the end here. We got our surgeon loop and our dropper loop. And 50-pound test, about 12 feet of line here. That's going to be tied on the end of our braid. So what we need to do is get a little rig tied, snap-off rig I call it, for the sinker on the very end. Get your sinker caught in the bottom, snaps right off, you still have your leader. We'll do that with 20-pound test. Do one good turn of that, that's all you need. Cut that off. Tie a small surgeon loop on the end. Two. Tighten that up. Really like to tighten up where the tag is because that's part of the knot. Cut that off. Okay. You get the surgeon loop on the one end. You want to make a bigger loop on the other end. I just fold it right down. That's where your sinker is going to be put through. I always like to make a tight on the end. Make another surgeon loop. One. Two. Tighten that up. Tighten the tag end up. That's a fully tightened up knot there. Get that little bit of, and there you have for your sinker. And what you do is you put that on the end of the leader, the 50-pound leader. That's where you have your sinker hanging out. And that way, if you get your sinker caught and you can't get it out, snap. 20-pound test snaps. 50-pound is still good. Tie yourself. I always tie myself about 6 or 8 of these. Put them in a little Ziploc bag with me when I take them to the rocks. I always have plenty of these little leader deals right here that I have in this little Ziploc bag here. A whole bunch of these leaders that I keep with me. That way if you snap off your sinker, you got just pop another leader on and get another sinker on. Now you need to put hook leader on top. So I'm going to use a little bit stronger line because you'll have a fish on that, and you don't want that to snap off too easy. So I give that 2 turns. That's probably more than what I need. I'll just put the hook on first. The hooks I like to use, must add, Virginia hook. This is size 3. These are the blue hooks. They don't have any barbs up here. No bait holder. You don't need that for crab. I use sand fleas, but whatever you use for bait, crab bait, you don't need the bait holders. Plus, when you're holding the hook and you're putting the crab on, you don't need to be grabbing barbs. So you got your 30-pound test here. And you want to snell the hook. And you all know how to snell a hook. There's different ways to do it. This is how I do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep that tight. Pull that up. Grab that tag, zip, snug it up to the top of the hook, cut off that tag. Want a good length of leader here. Put your surgeon loop on the end. Doop doo doo. One, 2. I like to make that, doesn't have to be that big because you're only putting the hook through it. Tighten that up, and you tighten the tag end up. And snip that off. And then you take your leader, the drop loop, the hook leader, zip it through there, tighten that up, and there you go. That's your setup for tog. You got the 50-pound test with the surgeon loop on the end. You got the little leader for your sinker that'll snap off if it gets caught. Now you have your tog hook here. You can do a snafu if you want. I'm just doing a single because I'm doing sand fleas. And that way, even if this ends up snapping off, getting caught, it'll snap off before the 50 will, and you'll still have your leader. And we'll attach this leader to our braid, 30-pound braid, which we have on our reel. And you're ready to go catch tog. I'll also use that same leader if I'm going to use this a tog jig. I have one tied here already, but I have a swivel on the end of it, and I want to use that swivel. I had that set up for another rig, but I'm not using that rig anymore. I'm going to use a snap-off rig. So I got 30-pound test on the end of this jig here. So I'm just going to tie a surgeon loop on there. You want a big surgeon loop for that one, because you got to get that rig through the loop when you're tying it on the end of your leader. So we'll just give this a surgeon loop on the end here. Double knot, surgeon loop. Let's snip off that tag. Let's see, now you got, put that right on the end here, right where you would put your sinker. You just put your tog jig on, zip through the hole, boop, boop, and there you go on the end of your 50-pound test. You got 30-pound test for this tog jig. And if that gets stuck and you can't get it out, boom, that snaps off and you still get your 50-pound test. So there you go, your multi-faceted, multi-purpose leader that you put on the end of your braided line.